YouTube, how are you? I want to talk about Dudley Perkins today. This is his 2006 album, Expressions 2012 AU. It's released on Stone's Throw Records. The AU in the title stands for After Us. And Dudley Perkins is kind of a philosopher a little bit. He's very much about preaching the gospel of the Lord and stuff like that too, but he's not overly preachy. He pretty much just talks about like unconditional love and like, you know, he has conversations with God and stuff apparently. He's kind of a crazy guy. He's pretty a far out cat. Seems like a really nice guy though. A cool thing about Dudley, well, first of all, Madlib does all the production on this. He makes all the beats for Dudley, but a cool thing about Dudley Perkins is that he gets first pick. He gets dibs on all of Madlib's beats first. Like, Madlib likes working with this guy so much, he just says, hey man, take any beats you want, you get first pick of all my, you know, sought out stuff, beats and rhythms that I slave over and stuff, and so he just gives them to this guy. And all he does really is just do this kind of singing, kind of rapping thing, but he's not really singing or rapping. He's just kind of talk, rhyming kind of shit. It sounds kind of gospel-y, but the whole record isn't like a religious record. It doesn't sound like an R&B gospel album. It's like this genre kind of like psychedelic R&B, you know? Like psychedelic R&B with like a little bit of hip-hop in it. Like, Madlib keeps the tempo going, so there's positive vibes, lots of bumpin tracks on here. He's got funky grooves and lots of like funky samples and stuff, and then Dudley's just doing this kind of like, you know, silly little like very endearing half song, half rap kind of vocals over it. He's the subject matter on this record is pretty much I'd say the majority of this music is actually just about making music, and then it's about God, and then maybe weed, and then maybe women. And I don't know, he doesn't really touch on much other stuff than that, except for aliens. He has a conversation with God on here. Dudley Perkins used to be this rapper named Declaim. He's been rapping since 1987, and he was in this 90s group called the Alcoholics. He's collaborated with Jay Dilla, people like Doom, people like even Quasimodo. He made some tracks with Quaz and stuff, but yeah, that's all under his Declaim name now. He wants to do this kind of reflective, half-sung, half-rap thing called Dudley Perkins, the name his mama gave him, right? But yeah, it's a pretty cool record, very cool. Fun to nod your head to. It's pretty much the story of how Dudley Perkins came with the idea of writing this record and stuff. Because they all clap your hands and funk is demand, but it's pretty weird, pretty cool. Dudley Perkins is a really neat guy. I haven't read this in a while. Oh yeah, he got a mission from God and stuff, and it was just, I don't know, he's a pretty far out dude. And like I said, it's a pretty original sounding thing. Like when I heard this, I was reading about him, and I guess for a job before he started rapping, he worked in the US Army, and he was in charge of like cleaning all the commanders' tents or houses or lodges, wherever they stay in whenever they're like overseas somewhere. And he was stationed in Iraq for a little while, and he was cleaning one of the commanders, like the leading commanders, whatever the hierarchy in the US Army is, just the base, I guess, and he had some like files lying around in his like quarters. So he kind of thumbed through them or something, and he found all these files on like aliens and like alien existence and UFOs, and it freaked him out, so he quit the army, and like I guess he just started, you know, smoking copious amounts of weed and stuff, and just became this really far out, blissed out guy. But it's really cool. It's really endearing sound. It's got very groovy rhythms. It's pretty far out hip-hop, but it's not so far out and original that, you know, it's unlistenable. It's very tight, very groovy, like I said, very funky. Madlib does a great job on production. Yeah, Dudley Perkins. I just got his new record, and I'll probably be reviewing it to him. It's even more far out than this one is, but yeah. And like what I said, it's all about, like, he's into God and he's very religious. He's just, I don't know, religious, spiritual. He's a very spiritual person is probably what I should say. But yeah, Dudley Perkins. Expressions, 2012 AU, 2006 Stone's Throw record. Check it out, it's good times. I really like Dudley Perkins. I've been listening to this for years. I went to see him once too at Seattle. It's cool. Bye.